So this place might look familiar to some people. I'm back at Aqua Zoo. I did a tour of this place exactly 1 year ago, but I think it's time for an update, so let's get started. So this place is just really unique. I mean, it's basically a zoo, but with just fish tanks. Freshwater, saltwater, they have some terrariums as well. And yeah, I just love coming here. Last time I was here was a year ago. I did a tour, but I made a video with my cell phone and the quality wasn't great. Right now I have a proper camera and we can make a better quality video. It's owned by a local aquarium club and it's basically just maintained by volunteers and members of the club. So I'm gonna give you guys a full tour. I think they have about 40 different display tanks in here, so I don't think we'll manage to go over every single one of them. So I'll probably just pick my favorite and just kind of go over them quickly. Okay, I'm gonna start the tour all the way at the end. There's a couple of visitors at the front, so it's a little bit noisy. Here it's nice and quiet. So let's start with this aquarium right here. This one is kind of like an Africa biotope. As you can see from the fish selection, we have a very large group of the regular Congo Tetras, and there's also a large group of the blue-eyed Congo Tetras. And then I really love this, almost like a carpet with red lotus. This looks really good. Just love the aquarium that's this plant in the center here with those crinkled leaves. There's some really unique fish in here, some cichlids, and a lot of fish that I don't even know the names of. So yeah, this tank is absolutely massive, guys. I hope the camera will show that. I think it's maybe like 4 meters, something like that. Not a bad aquarium to start the tour with. So here we have another large display. Quite a long tank, not very tall. This one is quite Aquac Cape, I would say. We have a little sand path in the center here. Lots of really nice looking plants. And then we have a really large group of the small fish, the amber tetras. There's a couple other fish in here as well, but it's mostly amber tetras. I love this massive clump of Anubias. It looks really good. Nice hardscape structure as well, with some rocks and some driftwood. Huge clump of Bucephalandra. I love this lily in the center here. I wonder which type that is. Looks really good. Next tank is really cool. In here we have some actually really small sharks. And these are called Appet Sharks. So there's 3 of them in here. And if I remember correctly, sometimes they also have the eggs in here as well. Not sure how this whole process goes, but I remember visiting this place once and there were a couple of shark eggs just dangling in this tank as well. Really cool. I think these are also, I don't think they get much bigger than this. I do wonder why they're in such a small tank. Maybe it's just because they don't really move around much. Then next to the sharks we have a South American themed tank with some really beautiful angelfish. Definitely still on my wish list as well. So I think we have 4 of them. Then we have a large group of these emperor tetras. Some stir-by corridoras. And these things are called cupid cichlids. Yeah, just a nice, quite an interesting shaped tank, because it's like a triangle, you know. So it's very narrow on the sides, but then in the center is actually very deep. Moving on from the angelfish tank, we have another massive tank. This one is really deep as well. This one is stocked with Central American cichlids. And I'm actually quite familiar with these because my dad is keeping Central American cichlids. He's really a massive fan of them. So all of these look very familiar. I kind of know some of the names, but a lot of these cichlids, the names kind of change with time as well, you know. But yeah, it's just another beautiful kind of biotope display tank. Then we have tank number 21. This one I really like. It's really up my alley. I really love the background with the microzorum. Just looks super good. Something that you don't see very often, but it just looks very natural, you know. And another thing I love is this group of red lotus. Look at Look at the color of that, look at how healthy it is. That's insane. Yeah, all the plants in here look super good. And then we have a group of these orange swordtails. And there's another fish in here that I can't place. I've also I've checked the screen here, but it doesn't say. So if anyone can ID the fish in here, let me know in the comments. Tank number 22 is Tangika with yeah, cichlids. I don't know the name of these cichlids, and I can see it on the screen, but it's the Dutch name, so it doesn't translate to English, you know. But yeah, it's just another really nice looking biotope. I was looking for the shell-dwelling cichlids, you know, the Lotus, the ones that hide in the shells, but I don't see them. I would still like to create something like this, but in a smaller version at some point. But I do want to add some plants, of course. If there's no plants, it's not for me. Okay, then tank number 23. This one is also very nice. This one has, yeah, another kind of like a Dutch style tank with a lot of plants, a lot of healthy plants. Again, some beautiful red lotus, and a really large group of these diamond tetras. Never kept diamond tetras before, but after seeing them here, they're really special. And here they have another green lily. I wonder what the name is of this one. I can't find it on the screen either. Yeah, again, I love how they use the backgrounds in these tanks. You know, this one is kind of covered it with some moss, and there's some another Java fern on there. Super nice. Then we have tank number 13. This one is like a proper Aquac Cape. There's a really nice wood structure in here, and the wood is covered with moss. It kind of looks like they've used those, you know, those Marimo moss balls. They kind of took them apart and just glued them onto the wood. I'm not sure if that's what actually happened, but it kind of looks like it. A bunch of amanos kind of foraging in the moss. And we always have like a carpet of cryptocoryns in the foreground. Looks very, very natural. Some more Java fern on the wood. Some really nice Ortalas in the background. Then tank number 24 is another saltwater display. Quite nice, but I don't know, it's not really up my alley, so let's move on to number 25 because that one is really cool. In here we should have seahorses. See if we can find them. There's one right here. So I'll try to get some proper B-roll of them and overlay that because it's a little bit hard for the camera to focus on them, but yeah, we have I think maybe 3 or 4 seahorses. There's a couple peppermint shrimp in here as well. I absolutely love these, they're so beautiful. With those long whiskers, you know. Really cool. And then these white things, I think these are anemones, but I'm not sure. Could be something else. Yeah, this one is quite cool. There is a fish in here as well. A yellow something. I'll overlay some footage again. Here we have tank number 11. This one is also kind of South America inspired. I really like this one. This kind of reminds me of what I used to do before I started aquascaping. I was really into South American cichlids, and I was also keeping these Bolivian rams. If you go back on my YouTube channel to some videos all the way at the beginning, there might still be some footage of my Bolivian rams when they were laying eggs and stuff. Yeah, this is something that you can easily kind of replicate at home as well. Now, it's still quite a big tank, but it's kind of easy to replicate. We have a large shoal of the cardinal tetras. Of course, one of the most popular fish out there. And then, yeah, the Bolivian rams are super cool fish, really interesting behavior. We have some corridoras, and all of these fish are easy to care for as well, you know. So, yeah, this is something that people can replicate at home. Then next to the Bolivian rams, we have a beautiful Discus tank. This one is really nice as well. I love the background on this tank. This is massive. I think it's artificial background. Probably from this company Back to Nature. I think they do the most, they're the most famous background company. Yeah, it just looks super good. And these large Amazon swords. And then a group of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Discus. There's another one on the right side. I like that they've just chosen one type, you know, just the blue ones. Sometimes you see those Discus tanks and there's like 20 different colors in them and it just doesn't really look natural, you know? It's just not really my taste. I love how they use the Vallisneria on both ends, you know, so you have Vallisneria going that way and same thing on the other side as well, creating like arch. The only thing I don't really like is, I mean, it's a South American tank, but then they have used some crypts. There's some crypts in here and there's some Java fern in here. I don't know, I would have kept it the strict Biotope with just the Amazon swords and the Vallisneria, but that's just my opinion. Then next to the Discus tank we have sort of like a river Biotope. I really like this one as well. We have this large shoal of Danios. I'm not sure about the type it is. It just says giant Danio. And then we have different types of these gobies. These are the Gara flavatra, something like that. These guys over here on the rock. All those types of fish that you would see in a fast flowing river, you know. And then on the rocks here we have a group of those shrimp. Not sure what the English name is, but in the Netherlands we call it waaierhandgarnaal. Look at this one over here. Trying to get some food. And I love how they use the very long and narrow tank, you know. Perfect for the Biotope. Perfect for a river Biotope, I mean. Okay, so this is pretty cool. We basically have an entire wall with Nano tanks. And they're all kind of the same in terms of the layout. But then every tank has like different fish, you know. So over here on top we have the green Neo Tetras. Quite a large show of them. The tank below that we have the... I forgot what these are called. Orange Tetra, something like that. And then the one next to that, we have a group of Emperor Tetras. And these are just lovely little tanks, you know, like very low, very narrow, then again quite long. Just a simple internal filter. And again, every tank has a background. I think the background is actually kind of covered with blackwash algae, but it just looks natural, you know. Next one has a group of cherry barbs, looking really good. Next we have neon tetras and the black tetras. No, black neon tetras. I need to brush up on my knowledge. On top we have a bit of a mix. We have some guppies, some tetras and some rice fish as well. And then the last two are a little bit smaller. Here we have some orange platies. And below that we have another type of Tetra. And then next to this wall is another really cool tank. This one is almost like a mangrove style Biotope. But what's interesting about this tank is it has a special filtration system that kind of simulates the low and the high tide, you know? You can actually see it on the glass and on the edges as well. Like, so the water level kind of changes every few hours or so. Really cool. So we have a large group of archer fish, and there's another type of fish in here as well, but I don't know the names of those. I wonder if these are freshwater archer fish or if it's just like a brackish type. I'm not sure. And of course, next to that, we have a big tank with piranhas. Can't have an aquarium zoo without piranhas, of course. These are absolutely massive as well. How many do we have in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Really cool. I love this piece of driftwood right in the center. And then on the background we have a bunch of different types of Anubias. Again, a very natural looking tank, you know. So here we are at the beginning. So you come through this door and then you enter Aqua Zoo. And then the first tank you see is this beautiful saltwater display with some really large anemones. There's a couple of clownfish in here as well, and a peppermint shrimp. It just looks really good. Really like this one. And here we have kind of like the main seating area. There's a couple large display tanks here. And there's a bar. There's a beautiful paludarium on the bar as well. Looks really good. Next to that we have a fish-only saltwater tank. They have a lot of saltwater tanks. Most of them have corals. This one only has fish. And my knowledge about saltwater fish is not very big, so can't really give you guys any names, but yeah, we just have a lot of color in here and they're absolutely beautiful. Really like this one here. Look at the crazy yellow color. And this one, the blue stripes. I'm wondering what kind of light is on the tank because the colors on this fish are amazing. Next to that saltwater tank we have a very large, almost like a Dutch style planted tank with some really beautiful rainbow fish. And these are the Bosmanis, quite a lot of them in there. These are the turquoise. We have a couple dwarf rainbows in here as well. And then we have the odd rummy-nosed Tetra. Just a beautiful planted tank. So I think we've covered most of them, at least my personal favorites. Do me a favor, let me know in the comments which one did you like the most. That's it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.